There are some very interesting developments that are going on in the BCCI as we approach the months of August and September. Now, a news report has emerged that the BCCI has sought an urgent Supreme Court permission amending the Constitution. They want to have an urgent appeal to the Supreme Court. The BCCI wants to amend 6 rules pertaining to the amendment in their Constitution. Now, if the Chief Justice of India has to be believed, the matter could be heard next week. Now, why have the BCCI suddenly started to show some urgency in trying to amend their constitution? Well, this is the main reason. Sourav Ganguly, the current president of the BCCI, and Jay Shah, the secretary of the BCCI, their tenure is set to expire in September 2022. Now, these amendments in the BCCI constitution has all been brought about because of the recommendations of the Loda panel committee, which was set up quite some time back. However, that is not the end of the matter. What is the major bone of contention that the BCCI wants to amend in, for which they have sought an urgent hearing in the Supreme Court? The main thing is amending Rule 6 in the BCCI constitution. It clearly states that the BCCI state board officials, according to the rule, the BCCI and any state board officials are barred from holding office for 6 consecutive years. After 6 consecutive years, according to the Loda panel recommendation, there has to be a mandatory cooling off period, which is clearly mentioned. Any office bearer in the BCCI or the state body or any combination, I'm stressing on the any combination bit, I'll come back to that later. They have to undergo a mandatory 3-year cooling off period after a maximum 6-year term. Now, what is the problem? Before Sourav Ganguly had come into BCCI, he was the head of the Cricket Association of Bengal. He was elected 2 terms on a post. Jay Shah was also the office bearer in the Gujarat Cricket Association from 2013 onwards. Now, I had mentioned office bearers in the BCCI or the state body or any combination, if it is for a period of 6 years, they have to undergo a mandatory cooling off period. Now, you will argue Jay Shah was with the Gujarat Cricket Association for 6 years. Now, why is it that even now, it's 3 years after that, why is he still in the BCCI? Same with Sourav Ganguly from 2015 onwards. His tenure should have ended in 2021. Why is he still in the BCCI? So, if this rule was followed to the letter, current BCCI and office bearers now cannot hold any of the posts, either in the BCCI or the state board now for the next 3 years. But why has this not been implemented? Ganguly and Shah, their tenure has come under extension primarily because the Supreme Court did not hear the plea for the rules amendment. Because of the coronavirus outbreak, because things were shut down for 2 years, and even in the 2019 December meeting of the AGM, the BCCI had wanted to remove that 6-year tenure rule, for which they had appealed to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court had not heard the pleas. So this has been in a limbo. Now, it is very important to understand, why am I saying any combination? The BCCI is adamant that do not count the tenure of their state associations. So, the BCCI is arguing do not count Ganguly's tenure from the CAB and Jay Shah's tenure in GCA. Count them from the BCCI on bit onwards. So, if Ganguly and Jay Shah have to be believed, they do not fulfill the 6-year criteria if they start from the BCCI. But if you include the CAB and the BCCI tenure, they have exceeded 6 years. So they have to undergo a mandatory 3-year cooling period now. These are one of the recommendations that was instituted by the Loda panel, which was set up by the Supreme Court in the aftermath of the 2013 betting scandal. So, BCCI is clear, do not include state association tenure, include just BCCI tenure. But the Loda panel is very clear, state and BCCI, the combination or any of the combination, that is the major bone of contention by which the BCCI is wanting a urgent appeal from the SC, from the Supreme Court. One has to remember, again, as I had said, Jay Shah and Sourav Ganguly's tenures are coming to an end in September. Now, after this, what is going to happen? That all will depend on the Supreme Court when they want to hear the case next. It's been in a limbo for 2 years now. One hopes that we get closure in the case. I just want to present you what is the backdrop of the case. Why has this all been instituted? Well, this rule, the cooling off period, 6-year tenure, has all been instituted by the Loda committee, which was appointed by the Supreme Court in 2015. This was formed after Justice Mukul Mudgal had given, after the Justice Mukul Mudgal committee had submitted a report to clean up and also to organize the BCCI. This was formed because of the IPL 2013 betting scandal. As you would be aware, during IPL 2013, 3 players were accused of spot fixing. There was also a betting scandal involving Gurunath Mayappan, who was also part of Chennai Super Kings. All that now led to the formation of the Loda panel after the Justice Mukul Mudgal committee report was submitted. So, once again, Ganguly and Jay Shah's tenure are under extension because of the coronavirus situation that had happened in 2020 and 2021, and also because now the Supreme Court had not heard the pleas for the rules amendment. Now they are requesting an urgent appeal to the Supreme Court because they want to change the rules. They want to amend the constitution now. Because remember, Jay Shah and Sourav Ganguly's tenure is effectively ending in September 2022. BCCI stance is, the amendment is, do not include state tenure, just include BCCI tenure. Loda committee's recommendations are state plus BCCI, combination of both. Or even if you have served 6 years in the state, you cannot continue in the BCCI. So the tenure and the cooling off period, that is the battle now which could be heard next week, probably. If the Chief Justice of India has to be believed, maybe that might happen. Thank you so much for listening to the Special Explainer, folks. I'll be back with more analysis and updates from the world of cricket and administrative politics. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Press the bell icon when we go live. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, folks. Thank you.